The night is quiet, and a story awaits. Before we begin, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so the night always finds you. You sigh, sinking deeper into the worn velvet armchair in your inherited uncle's study. Dust motes dance in. The single beam of moonlight slicing through the heavy brocade curtains. The air smells of old paper, forgotten dreams, and the faintest hint of sandalwood incense, long extinguished. This old house, tucked away in a misty Jiangnan village, feels like a world paused in time. You came seeking quiet, perhaps inspiration, away from the city's clamor. Instead, you found mountains of neglected books and scrolls. Reaching out, your fingers brush against a particularly thick stack of papers piled precariously on a low rosewood table. They feel brittle, fragile. Curiosity nudges you. Gently, you lift the topmost manuscript. The paper is thin, yellowed with age, covered in dense, elegant calligraphy. The ink faded, but still legible. The characters flow like water, beautiful, yet urgent. It's a scholarly treatise, you realize, though the title page is missing. Notes crowd the margins, frantic scribbles that seem almost desperate. Phrases like the nature of celestial resonance and linking the mortal pulse to the heavens jump out. Intriguing but obscure dot as you carefully turn a page. A sudden, inexplicable chill sweeps through the room. Not the damp chill of the old house, but a sharp, localized cold that makes the hairs on your arm stand up. It passes as quickly as it came, leaving behind a strange stillness. The oil lamp on the desk flickers wildly, casting long, dancing shadows that seem to grasp at the walls for a moment before settling. You glance around, your heart giving a little jump. Nothing, just the familiar clutter of the study, towering. Bookshelves, a large inkstone gathering dust, an antique bronze incense burner. The silence feels deeper now, watchful. Shaking off the unease, you focus back on the manuscript. The scholar's passion, his intense focus on connecting seemingly disparate natural phenomena, is palpable, even through the faded ink. Who was he? Why was this work, clearly a labor of love and intellect, abandoned here? Deciding to learn more, you carefully gather the loose pages. Maybe there's a name somewhere, a date. As you lift the stack, a single sheet slips free, fluttering silently to the floorboards like a falling leaf. You bend to retrieve it. This page feels different, colder. The characters here are less controlled, more jagged, almost frantic. At the very bottom, scrawled in a darker, almost desperate hand, is a single phrase that sends another shiver down your spine, unrelated to the temperature. The resonance is broken. He hears me not, forgotten, ... all forgotten, ... The final character trails off into a smudge. You stare at the words, forgotten. The word echoes in the quiet room. Was the scholar forgotten? Is this work forgotten? The strange chill, the flickering lamp. Your logical mind searches for explanations. A draft, uneven lamp oil. Yet a deeper, instinctive part whispers that you've brushed against something. Someone lingering? You place the cold page back with the others, handling it with newfound reverence. The silence in the study isn't just quiet anymore. It feels like a held breath. The forgotten scholar's presence, his unfinished symphony of thought, suddenly feels very close, waiting patiently in the dust and moonlight. You decide to read more, drawn into the mystery held within these fragile pages, unaware that the gaze of centuries now rests softly upon you, hopeful, perhaps, to finally be heard. The weight of the forgotten scholar's manuscript feels heavier in your hands now, imbued with the echo of that chilling phrase, forgotten ... all forgotten ... The oil lamp's flame burns steadily again, casting a warm, reassuring circle of light on the rosewood table, pushing back the deeper shadows of the study. Yet the lingering sense of being observed, of a presence hovering just beyond the lamplight, remains like a subtle perfume in the air. You turn another page of the treatise, trying to decipher the complex arguments about celestial harmonies and terrestrial energies. The scholar writes with such conviction, weaving together ancient philosophies and keen personal observations of the stars, the winds, the subtle shifts in the local landscape. He speaks of a great resonance, a fundamental connection linking all things, a harmony that scholars could potentially perceive and even influence. His notes grow increasingly fervent, filled with diagrams of constellations overlaid onto maps of the village and its surrounding hills and waterways. It feels less like dry academia and more like a passionate quest, almost a sacred mission. Your eyes grow heavy. The journey, the stillness of the house, the dense text, they conspire against you. You rest your head against the high back of the velvet armchair, the manuscript still open on your lap. Sleep tugs at your consciousness, pulling you down into its warm embrace. The scholar's intricate theories about the pulse of the earth and heavenly vibrations swirl in your mind, morphing into fragments of dreams. You dream of standing on a moonlit hilltop overlooking the sleeping village. The air thrums with a low, resonant hum like the deepest note of a giant, unseen bell. Stars pulse overhead in time with the rhythm emanating from the land itself. Rivers shimmer like liquid silver, tracing paths that mirror constellations above. You feel connected to it all, part of a vast singing tapestry. Then you see him. A figure stands a little way off, silhouetted against the starry sky. He wears the long robes of a Ming Dynasty scholar, his posture erect yet radiating a profound weariness. He isn't looking at the breathtaking vista. He's staring intently down at the village, specifically towards this very house. His hands move slightly, tracing patterns in the air, as if trying to conduct the cosmic symphony. But the resonant hum grows fainter, discordant. A wave of intense sadness washes over you, his sadness. It's the grief of witnessing a beautiful song fade, note by precious note, unheard. You try to call out, but no sound emerges. The scholar turns his head slowly, his face obscured by shadow, yet you feel the weight of his gaze, ancient and sorrowful. He raises a hand, not in greeting, but in a gesture of supplication, warning. You jerk awake with a gasp. The study is silent. The manuscript lies heavy on your lap. The dream clings to you, vivid and unsettling. The profound connection, the fading resonance, the scholar's palpable despair. It felt more like a memory than a dream, and that gaze. You look around the room, half expecting to see the shadowed figure. Moonlight still streams through the curtain gap, illuminating dust motes dancing in the still air. Nothing moves, yet the feeling of being watched is stronger than ever. It's not threatening, not like some lurking menace from a ghost story. It's expectant, hopeful, even beneath the layers of sorrow, like someone standing patiently at a door, waiting for permission to enter. You glance down at the open page. It details an experiment involving specific star alignments and the placement of resonating objects near natural energy conduits, a spring on the eastern hill, an ancient oak near the river bend. His life's work unfinished, unheard, forgotten. The silence of the house is no longer empty. It's filled with the quiet, persistent yearning of a mind that refused to be silenced, even by death. You take a deep breath, the scholar's dream sadness still echoing in your chest. What if he wasn't just studying resonance? What if he was trying to fix something he felt was broken? The forgotten scholar's story, it seems, is far from over, and somehow, impossibly, you've become part of it. The lamplight flickers, gently as if agreeing. The scholar's silent plea, carried from dream into your waking world, lingers like the scent of old paper and unresolved sorrow. The study feels charged, the air thick with unspoken history, driven by a curiosity now tinged with a sense of obligation to the figure in your dream. You decide to investigate his notes more systematically. Who was he? You carefully sift through the stack of papers on the rosewood table, looking for any clue, a name, a date, a personal seal. Most pages are dense with theory and observation, but near the bottom of the pile, you find a different kind of document. It's a letter, or rather the draft of one, written on slightly better quality paper, though equally aged. The calligraphy is the same elegant hand, but the strokes tremble slightly, revealing agitation beneath the formality. Esteemed Master Chun, it begins. Your pulse quickens. A name. The letter details the scholar's concerns about disturbances in the local resonance, describing unusual weather patterns, unseasonal frosts killing blossoms, springs running. Unexpectedly low, a pervasive sense of unease settling over the villagers. He writes of his theory, his belief that a specific alignment of stars, combined with certain geological shifts near the village's dragon vein, a term for a perceived powerful earth energy line, was causing a harmful dissonance. He urgently proposes a method to retune the energy, involving precise placements of resonating stones and specific rituals at key locations. He'd mapped the Clearwater Spring east of the village, the Sentinel Oak by the river, and the final site is mentioned only as the Heart, marked on a rough sketch accompanying the note, located deep within the overgrown bamboo grove behind this very house. His tone grows increasingly desperate. He speaks of strange occurrences, tools, misplacing themselves, faint, discordant music heard at night, a pervasive feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. He pleads for Master Chun's guidance and support, fearing the consequences if the dissonance isn't corrected before the next celestial convergence. Marked on the sketch as just a few weeks from the letter's date. You examine the sketch. It's crude but clear, showing the village layout, the 3 marked locations, and arrows indicating energy flow. The heart within the bamboo grove is depicted as a central point where all lines converge, the date scribbled in the corner. Your breath catches. It's over 300 years old. The letter was never sent, or perhaps never received. The draft ends abruptly mid-sentence, as if the writer was interrupted. The shadows gather, and the silence grows heavier. I fear they know I seek to mend. The sentence trails off into nothing. A shiver, unrelated to temperature, runs through. You, shadows gathering. They, the scholar's fear is palpable, frozen in ink. You recall the strange chill, the flickering lamp, the intense feeling of being watched. Were these the shadows he feared? What happened to him? Did he attempt his ritual alone? The manuscript, his life's work, abandoned here? It paints a picture of tragic isolation. He saw a problem threatening his home, devised a solution, sought help, and seemingly vanished before he could act, his warning unheard, his knowledge forgotten. You look towards the window. The bamboo grove behind the house is a wall of impenetrable shadow in the moonlight. The heart lies somewhere within that darkness. The scholar's presence in the room feels stronger now, no longer just sorrowful, but charged with a quiet, determined energy. His unfinished letter, his interrupted sentence, they hang in the air like a question. His work wasn't just theoretical. It was a desperate attempt to heal something he loved, and it was violently cut short. The forgotten scholar wasn't merely ignored. He was silenced. The peaceful stillness of the study now hums with the echo of his thwarted purpose. You gently fold the draft letter, placing it carefully atop the manuscript. The silence isn't passive anymore. It's listening, waiting. The path he started, marked by fear and hope on that ancient sketch, seems to lie before you, leading into the moonlit shadows of the bamboo grove. The scholar's spirit isn't resting. It's holding a vigil, waiting for someone to pick up the thread he dropped centuries ago. The scholar's desperate draft letter lies heavy in your mind, its unfinished plea echoing the unfinished ritual. The bamboo grove outside, once just part of the old house's neglected garden, now feels like a threshold. The heart marked on his sketch calls silently from its shadowed depths. Driven by a compulsion you don't fully understand, part curiosity, part empathy for the forgotten spirit, you decide to find the first location mentioned, the Clearwater Spring. Morning sunlight, weak but cheerful, streams through the study window as you step outside. The village is waking up. Mist clings to the rice paddies, and the air is filled with the distant sounds of roosters and villagers beginning their day. Following the scholar's sketch, you head east, leaving the cobbled paths for a winding trail that leads up a gentle forested hill. The air grows cooler, damper, filled with the scent of pine and damp earth. Birdsong replaces the village sounds. After a pleasant walk you find it, the Clearwater Spring. It's a beautiful spot. Water bubbles up clear and cold from moss-covered rocks into a small, natural stone basin before trickling away down the hillside. Sunlight dapples through the canopy, sparkling on the water's surface. It looks peaceful, serene. According to the scholar's notes, this was one of the key resonance points, a place where the Earth's energy was particularly pure and accessible. He intended to place a specific resonating stone here, perhaps quartz or jade, attuned to harmonize the energy flow. You walk closer, drawn to the water's edge. Kneeling, you dip your fingers into the basin. The water is icy cold, shockingly so. As you touch it, a faint, discordant hum vibrates up your arm, subtle but distinctly. Wrong. It's not a sound you hear with your ears, but a resonance you feel in your bones, a jarring vibration that clashes with the peaceful setting. It's gone as soon as you pull your hand back, leaving only the memory of unpleasant dissonance. The scholar was right. Something is off here. You look around, trying to imagine him standing here centuries ago, sensing this same disharmony, planning his intervention. Did he bring the stone? Was he prevented? As you scan the mossy banks, something catches your eye near the base of a large rock beside the spring. Partially buried in moss and leaf litter is a smooth, pale object. Brushing away the debris, your fingers touch cold, polished stone. It's a piece of white jade about the size of your palm, intricately carved with swirling patterns that resemble flowing water, or perhaps musical waves. It's beautiful, radiating a sense of calm purity. This must be the resonating stone the scholar intended to place. It feels cool and strangely alive in your hand, the carving meticulous, clearly made with great care and purpose. Why was it left here, buried? Did he hide it? Was he forced to abandon it? Holding the jade stone, the discordant hum you felt moments. Ago seems quieter, dampened, as if the stone itself was absorbing the unpleasant resonance. A warmth, gentle and soothing, spreads from the stone into your palm, countering the spring's unnatural chill. This small, forgotten object, hidden for centuries, feels like a tangible piece of the scholar's hope and meticulous planning. He got this far, he prepared the tool, but something stopped him from completing his task here. Finding the stone isn't just discovery. It feels like an act of connection. You cradle the jade, its cool surface a silent testament to the scholar's unfulfilled mission. The peaceful spring now holds a secret, a hidden flaw and a hidden remedy. The scholar's spirit, you feel certain, is watching. The first piece of his puzzle has been found. The journey to the sentinel oak awaits, the jade stone humming softly in your hand, a beacon of unfinished harmony calling out to be restored. The white jade stone rests cool and reassuring in your pocket, its subtle hum a quiet counterpoint to your own heartbeat. As you follow the scholar's sketch towards a second location, the sentinel oak by the river bend, the path leads you away from the forested hill down towards the lazy river that curls around the village like a sleeping dragon. Sunlight glints off the water, and dragonflies dart over the reeds. The sentinel oak is impossible to miss. It stands alone on a slight rise near a sharp bend in the river, a majestic giant. Its gnarled trunk, wider than two men could embrace, speaks of centuries watching over the water. Its branches spread wide and low, some dipping towards the river's surface, creating a canopy of deep, dappled shade. It feels ancient, wise, and immensely grounded. According to the scholar's frantic notes, this oak was a crucial anchor point, a powerful nexus of earth energy stabilizing the area. He planned to place another resonating object here, likely something attuned to stability and growth, perhaps a specific type of wood or stone carved with grounding symbols. You approach the great tree with a sense of reverence, the rough bark cool beneath your fingertips. The air beneath its branches is noticeably stiller, cooler, filled with the rich scent of damp earth and old wood. You close your eyes, trying to sense what the scholar sensed. At first, there's just the solid, comforting presence of the ancient tree. But then beneath that, you feel it again, that faint, discordant vibration. It's different here than at the spring. Less a jarring hum, more like a deep, unsettling tremor, a slow, pulsing disharmony deep within the earth itself, making The solidity of the oak feels slightly precarious. It's as if the tree's deep roots are straining against an unseen pressure. The scholar's fear of destabilization feels chillingly real. Remembering the jade stone's effect, you scan the base of the massive trunk, searching the thick roots and mossy hollows. Where would he have hidden the resonator for this place? Your gaze lands on a dark hollow formed by two large roots plunging into the earth. Something glints dully within the shadows. Reaching in, your fingers brush against something hard, smooth, and cool. You pull out a small, polished sphere of dark green stone, serpentine, or perhaps a deep jade. It's carved with interlocking patterns resembling roots or networks, symbols of connection and stability. Like the white jade, it radiates a sense of calm strength. This is the anchor stone. He left it here too, hidden within the embrace of the very tree it was meant to protect. As you hold the green stone, the subtle tremor beneath your feet seems to lessen, absorbed or countered by the stone's inherent stable energy. A wave of profound calm washes over you, emanating from the sphere and merging with the enduring presence of the oak. The scholar's foresight is remarkable. He prepared these tools, attuned them perfectly to their purpose. He identified the problem with uncanny accuracy. Yet both resonators were hidden, unused. He was stopped before he could activate either site. The threat he mentioned in his letter, the shadows, must have intervened here. At this powerful place, standing under the sentinel oak, the green stone warm and heavy in your hand, the weight of what the scholar faced presses upon you. He wasn't just battling a natural dissonance. He was actively opposed. By what? The peaceful riverside scene feels deceptive. The scholar's spirit feels closer here, perhaps drawn to the strength of the oak and the rediscovery of his second tool. There's a new note in the energy around you, not just sorrow or hope, but a fierce, protective determination. He shielded these stones, preserving them for a time when someone else might find them, someone who could finish what he started. The final location, the heart within the bamboo grove behind the house, awaits. It's the convergence point. Holding both resonators, you feel the scholar's silent guidance, urging you forward. The path back leads home, but the true destination lies within the whispering shadows of the bamboo. The forgotten scholar's ritual, centuries in waiting, is ready to be completed. The walk back to the old house feels different. The white jade stone hums softly in one pocket. The green serpentine sphere rests solidly in the other. They aren't just objects. They feel like keys charged with purpose. And the quiet, insistent energy of the scholar, whose hands last held them centuries ago. The afternoon sun casts long shadows, and the bamboo grove behind the house seems to beckon. It's tall, slender stalks rustling softly in the breeze like whispered secrets. You stand at the edge of the grove. Unlike the open spring or the majestic oak, this feels enclosed, intimate, mysterious. The bamboo grows thick and tall, creating a canopy that filters the sunlight into shifting patterns of green and gold on the damp earth below. The air is cooler here, filled with a unique, slightly sweet scent of bamboo and the constant, gentle susurration of leaves. According to the scholar's sketch, the heart, the central point where the energy lines converged, lies somewhere within this verdant labyrinth. He marked no specific path, only the central location, Taking a deep breath, you step into the grove. The outside world fades quickly. Sunlight dapples through the high canopy, but the path is shaded, the air still, and quiet except for the rustling bamboo. You move carefully, following no trail, relying instead on a strange internal pull, a subtle tugging sensation emanating from the stones in your pockets. It feels like the scholar's spirit is gently guiding you, his presence a cool, focused pressure at your back, urging you deeper into the green embrace. The grove isn't large, but the uniformity of the bamboo makes navigation disorienting. You walk for what feels like minutes, the rustling leaves a constant companion. Then the subtle pull intensifies, drawing you towards a small, natural clearing. Here, the bamboo forms a near-perfect circle, their stalks leaning slightly inward, as if guarding the space. The ground is covered in a thick carpet of fallen bamboo leaves, soft and silent underfoot. In the very center of the clearing, the earth rises slightly, forming a low, natural mound dot. This is it, the heart, the convergence point. The air here feels charged, thick with unseen energy. It's not peaceful like the oak, nor flawed like the spring. It feels expectant, like a great instrument tuned and ready, waiting only for the final note to be played. You feel the scholar's presence coalesce beside you, not as a visible figure, but as a profound sense of focused anticipation, a held breath spanning centuries. This is where his ritual was meant to culminate. The sketch mentioned placing the resonators at the heart during a specific celestial alignment. You glance up. The sky, visible through the circular opening in the bamboo canopy, is a deepening blue. Evening is approaching, but the stars are not yet visible. The scholar's ritual required starlight. His notes stressed timing, the harmony, needed the celestial influence. You recall the date on his letter, the convergence he feared missing. Was it tonight? You have no way of knowing the ancient calendar precisely. Doubt flickers. Have you come this far only to miss the crucial moment? You step into the center of the clearing, standing on the low mound. The charged feeling intensifies. The white jade hums more strongly in your pocket. The green serpentine pulses with steady warmth. Placing your hands on them, you close your eyes, trying to quiet your mind, to listen to the energy of this place, to feel the scholar's guidance. What should you do? Simply place the stones? Wait for nightfall? A gentle, cool breeze stirs the bamboo leaves around the clearing, carrying the faintest scent of sandalwood, the same scent from the study. It feels like an affirmation. The scholar is here. He's waited so long. Perhaps the stones themselves, attuned to his purpose and brought to the heart, will know what to do when the time is right. You settle onto the soft carpet of leaves, the two resonators cradled in your hands, the bamboo whispering secrets overhead. The clearing feels like a sanctuary, a hidden chamber of the earth. You wait, watching the circle of sky above slowly darken from blue to indigo. The first pinpricks of starlight begin to appear. The forgotten scholar's final act, his silent vigil at the heart, has found its witness. The night holds its breath, sitting, cross-legged on the soft mound at the heart of the bamboo grove. The cool evening air wraps around you like a silken shawl. The white jade and green serpentine stones rest warm and alive in your cupped hands. Above, through the perfect circle formed by the leaning bamboo stalks, The sky deepens from twilight indigo to the velvety black of true night. Stars emerge, one by one, then by the dozens, hundreds, until the circle frames a breathtaking tapestry of cold, distant fire dot as the darkness deepens and the starlight intensifies. Something extraordinary begins to happen. The air within the clearing, already charged, starts to hum. It's a low, resonant sound, felt more in your bones than heard with your ears. It grows steadily, harmonizing with the subtle vibrations emanating from the stones in your hands. The white jade sings a clear, high note of purity and flow. The green serpentine resonates with a deep, grounding tone of stability. They're combined. Song weaves together, creating a complex, beautiful harmony that fills the small clearing. The effect on the clearing is immediate and profound. The faint, discordant vibrations you sensed earlier at the spring and the oak, the underlying disharmony, the scholar described, seem to rise to the surface, drawn out by the resonator's pure tones. They manifest as visible distortions in the air, like heat haze but colder, darker, shimmering with chaotic energy. These are the shadows he feared, not creatures, but manifestations of corrupted resonance, pockets of dissonant energy poisoning the land's natural flow. They writhe and pulse, resisting the harmonious sound emanating from the stones and the very earth beneath you. The stones grow warmer, their light intensifying. The white jade glows with a soft moon-like radiance. The green serpentine pulses with a deep emerald light. Their combined illumination pushes back against the chaotic shadows, not violently, but with a gentle, insistent pressure. The scholar's presence beside you becomes almost tangible, a cool, focused energy pouring into the stones, amplifying their power. It's his knowledge, his centuries of silent waiting, his unwavering dedication to healing this place, flowing through the resonators he so carefully crafted. You feel like a conduit. The stones hum powerfully in your hands, their energy merging with the scholar's intent and the starlight pouring down. The chaotic shadows recoil as the harmonious vibration strengthens. They writhe thin and begin to dissipate like ink dropped into clear water, dissolving into nothingness. Where each shadow vanishes, the air feels cleaner, lighter, the natural hum of the earth beneath you growing stronger and purer. It's a battle of resonance fought, not with force, but with harmony. Light and pure sound against dissonance and entropy. The scholar's theory, his life's work, is being proven right here now, under the watching stars. The process isn't instantaneous. It takes time. The shadows resist, lashing out with bursts of chilling discord that make your teeth ache. But the combined power of the stones, the celestial alignment, and the scholar's focused spirit is overwhelming. Shadow after shadow unravels, consumed by the growing symphony of harmony. The clearing fills with light, the cool white and deep green of the stones mingled with the silver starlight. The air thrums with a deep, peaceful, resonant power. The sound of the earth itself singing in tune with the heavens. The disharmony is being cleansed note by discordant note. The scholar's silent vigil, his desperate plea trapped in a draft letter, finds its voice at last in this beautiful, resonant convergence. The forgotten work is remembered, and the broken resonance begins, slowly, miraculously, to mend. The final chaotic shadow dissipates like smoke in a breeze, unraveling completely under the relentless, harmonious pressure of the stones and the starlight. As it vanishes, a profound silence descends upon the bamboo grove, not the empty silence of before, but a deep, resonant quiet, like the stillness after a beautiful chord has faded. The air itself feels purified, vibrating with a clean, potent energy that hums gently against your skin. The white jade and green serpentine stones in your hands cool rapidly, their intense light dimming to a soft internal glow. Their work, guided by the scholar's spirit, is done. You look up at the circle of stars. They seem brighter, clearer, their light no longer just distant pinpricks, but vibrant points of connection. The subtle disharmony that hung over the land, the discord the scholar sensed centuries ago, has been washed clean. You can feel the difference, a deep-seated peace, a rightness emanating from the earth itself, flowing outwards from this central heart. The Clearwater spring would run, pure again. The sentinel oak would stand firm, its roots nourished by balanced energy. A wave of profound relief and completion washes over you, so strong it brings unexpected tears to your eyes. But it's not just your emotion, it's his, the scholar's presence, which had been a cool, focused pressure beside you throughout the ritual, shifts. The fierce determination, the centuries of sorrow and waiting melt away. What remains is pure, luminous gratitude and an overwhelming sense of peace, deeper than any ocean. Then you see him. Not a shadow, not a ghostly apparition, but a figure woven from starlight and the cool green luminescence of the bamboo grove itself. He stands a few paces away, facing you. He wears simple Ming Dynasty scholar's robes, his features gentle and wise, illuminated from within. There's no trace of the fear or desperation from his letter, only serenity and profound relief. He looks young, yet ancient, his eyes holding the wisdom of the stars he studied. He doesn't speak aloud, but his message flows into your mind, clear and warm as sunlight, filled with gratitude. Asterisk, you heard the call within the silence. You mended the broken song. The resonance is restored. My work is finally complete. Asterisk, his starlit form begins to gently brighten, dissolving from the edges inward. He smiles a smile of utter peace and boundless thanks. Asterisk, the land remembers. I can rest. Asterisk, his gaze holds yours for a moment longer, filled with an unspoken blessing. Then, like a constellation fading at dawn, his form dissolves completely into the starlight and the soft green glow of the bamboo leaves. A final gentle pulse of pure, harmonious energy washes through the clearing, warm and comforting, like a sigh of release. Where he stood, only moonlight and peace remain. You are alone in the clearing. The stones in your hands are cool, inert objects again, beautiful, but no longer humming with power. The air is still resonant with the profound quiet of a task fulfilled. The forgotten scholar is forgotten no more. His purpose, held in limbo for centuries, has been realized through your hands. He found his rest, his spirit released by the completion of the harmony he sought to protect. A deep sense of peace settles within you, mingled with awe. The bamboo grove whispers softly in the night breeze, a lullaby of leaves. The stars above the clearing shine with a serene, untroubled light. The scholar's story, his spirit's long vigil, has reached its gentle, harmonious end. The night holds only peace now, deep and resonant as the mended earth itself. That's tonight's tale. If it stayed with you, like, subscribe, and tap the bell. We'll meet again soon in the dark.